Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ms. Communication, and I am joined by...
Bangers and Smash.
And this is our first time together on the mic here at Mayday Mayhem. We are headed here into the 7th and 8th place game between West Texas Roller Dolls All-Stars and the Pueblo Derby Devil Dolls Jailhouse Jawbreakers. Pueblo having a mixed bag here in this tournament, picking up one win yesterday over ICT, 200-96.
And I know that Pueblo would like to come out in 7th place here, so they're really looking to put the heat on for West Texas as we get things going.
And West Texas yesterday picking up a win, sending them, of course, to the 7th, 8th place game. That win was against Happy Valley. And so just a few stats running in here. Pueblo Derby Devil Dolls from Pueblo, Colorado, and West Texas hailing from Lubbock. Both teams founded in 2007. West Texas joined the WFTDA in 2008, and their current WFTDA ranking as of the 30th of April is 179th. Pueblo joined the WFTDA in 2010, and their current WFTDA ranking as of the 30th is 150th. We should see, though, with the 29 ranking places between each other, I do believe we might actually have a fight on our hands here. Both teams going for a second win and that 7th place position heading out of Mayday Mayhem.
And I see Pueblo already ready to take the track. I see West Texas working their way out as well. It's going to be number 133, Ala Inyabiz in the yellow for Pueblo. West Texas skating in the black. And I cannot see the Texas blocker, jammer. But as soon as I'm able to, I'll let you know who's jamming for Texas.
We apologize. We're facing the jammer line in this game, and we don't have our handy stats machine. That is number
11, Dreamy Racer. And Dreamy Racer quickly making work of that wall that Pueblo is setting up. Past Mother Trucker takes lead jammer for the first lead of the game. Ala Inyabiz in the pack working to the outside, and she is now free and able to score. Dreamy Racer now back in for her scoring pass. Past Nitrogen up at the front, looking to make her way around the last Pueblo blocker. She's going to call off the jam and pick up 3 points for West Texas. So West Texas with first blood.
The Derby Devil Dolls in nice highlighter yellow for you. And West Texas wearing their black uniforms for this game. Pueblo starting up at the pivot line. West Texas preferring the jammer line to start this next jam.
And it's Billy foul play for Pueblo. And the West Texas jammer is hidden behind Mother Trucker there in that wall. That's number 143 for West Texas. Bam Bam blocker. Billy foul play makes it out of the pack first. She's lead jammer, but chasing her down is Bam Bam. Billy foul play going to go ahead and end the jam. That's a wise strategic decision to make. When the jammers are that close, you might as well go ahead and get out of there.
3-0 still remaining on that scoreboard. West Texas up ahead, 28 minutes left in the first half. Our event has been so wonderfully sponsored by our hosts here at the Ranch, Larimer County Fairgrounds and Events Complex, just off of I-25 here in Loveland. They host several other events, including Colorado Eagles hockey. Check them out, TREeventscomplex.com for more details.
Number T21, Frigidaire for Pueblo. Up at the front of the pack there, she breaks the pack. She's lead jammer, jamming for West Texas. Taken to the inside.
That's number 5?
It's number
55. Wild Wookie. She's actually headed to the box for a track cut.
That means Fridge able to get through the pack. She does pick up all 5 points for Pueblo. That's our first lead change of this game, ladies and gentlemen. Fridge coming back in for her next scoring pass. Pueblo holding up the pack in turn number 2. Fridge comes in, pushed to the outfield by 00.
Scary go round.
And Scary go round picking up a out-of-play penalty. She's going to go to the penalty box. Fridge clearing the pack, takes another 5 points. Looks like Harley Innocent, number 69 for Pueblo, headed off to the penalty box for an destruction call there. Fridge coming back in right into the wall of black. She's taken to the outside by number 13, Shadow Smith, recycled back behind. And we're rejoined on the track by Wild Wookie just before the whistle is blown. 0-0 on the last pass for both jammers.
10 points for the Fridge. Or for Fridge, sorry, not the Fridge, a former player from Pueblo. They pull ahead 10-3, 26 minutes in the first half. You know, Pueblo's roster not really changing that much from last year's Mayday Mayhem smash.
There are a couple of ads that are on the roster, but for the most part, they are the same team you saw last year. Now up to jam for Pueblo is Ringo Scar, but number 11, Dreamy Racer, back out for West Texas, takes lead jammer and is now well ahead of Ringo Scar, number 667. And she's in for her scoring pass, comes up into the front of the pack there and makes her way around. Jamie Foxu up, does pick up all 4 points during that pass, 7-10. Now only 3 points separating these two teams.
And as we predicted earlier, probably going to be a pretty close game here. Both teams hungry to take home a 2-win record and that 7th place positioning headed into going home tonight. That's a Bam Bam blocker, number 143 for West Texas on the line.
And Ala Inyabiz up again for Pueblo. Bam Bam running into some trouble there behind Nitrogen. A multiplayer block on Jamie Foxu up. She's headed off to the penalty box. Bam Bam blocker able to clear the pack. Now lead jammer back in the pack. Ala Inyabiz still trying to fight her way out. She gets taken out by Scary Go Round and is recycled. She's going to have to start all over again. Meanwhile, Bam Bam blocker coming back in for her scoring pass, getting held up by Nitrogen on the inside. They're taken to the infield, but able to come right back in as Nitrogen goes down. Pow Pow tries to hold her up some more, but that's going to be all 5 in the sky for Bam Bam blocker.
And that, folks, is going to be a lead change in the favor for West Texas. Right now, Alanya Biz out of the pack, ready to score points. But Bam Bam slams into the pack, picks up 1 point, and calls off the jam. 6 points total for Bam Bam. So that will bring West Texas to 13. Pueblo Derby Devil Dolls 10. Second lead change here in the first half with 24 minutes still left in play.
And we may see a few of those. At the end of that jam, number 1013 Miss Zero picks up a high block, and we're going to get back into the action. We've got jamming for Pueblo, Billy Foul Play, number 1936, and number 55, Wild Wookie up again. She is quickly getting through that pack, takes lead jammer. Billy Foul Play still trying to make her way around. 1 blocker now, 2. Out of play is called. Billy is able to get out of the pack. Wild Wookie just now coming back in for her scoring pass. She takes a fall. She signals to call off the jam. Nitrogen gives her a hit and a cutting penalty given. I didn't see which player picked up that cut at the end. It's going to be Lorna Love sitting in for Pueblo, so that's, I'm going to assume she's the one that got the cutting penalty.
16-10 now. West Texas pulling a bit ahead, but only by 6 points.
Number T21, Frigidaire, back up for Pueblo. She's going to be facing off against number 777, Scarlet Renegade. Fridge just ahead of Scarlet Renegade, grabs lead jammer and trying to put some space in. Pueblo maintaining the front of the pack, hoping Fridge can get in, put some points. Fridge signals to call off. I think she may have called it too soon to put any points on for herself. But she does hold Texas to 0. Yes, 0-0 on that pass.
Pueblo's blockers staying at the rear of the pack, even though the race between those jammers was so close. I have the feeling that if Pueblo would have moved up to the front of the pack and maybe skated away with the pack, that Fridge maybe could have picked up at least a few points before having to call that jam.
That's a good possibility. We see that so often, too. Teams where the blockers don't move forward for their jammer makes it more difficult to put those points up. Dream Eraser back in for West Texas, but it's Ringo Scar who clears the pack first, number 667 for Pueblo. She is lead jammer. She's got some good space between her and Dreamy Racer. She's coming up on the pack. Again, look, West Texas blockers all at the back of the pack there. That works out for Ringo Scar. She is able to pick up 2 points. It looks like 1 point by Dream Eraser, though she's able to pass one Pueblo blocker before the end of that jam.
17-12 now, West Texas on top with 21 minutes left in the period. Have you been enjoying the coverage that Colorado Sports TV has been providing this weekend for free? Will you be enjoying the archives, of which there are quite a few on Colorado Sports TV for free? Please click on that donate button and pass us a few bucks, because those bouts don't come cheaply just because they come cheaply to you. Wild Wookie out in front for West Texas. She is lead jammer. Who's she jamming against?
Right behind her is Ala Inyabiz. She did clear the pack. It was a little late, so that is going to be enough for Wild Wookie, though, to go ahead and say, I'm going to call off the jam. She looked up. She saw her blockers at the back of the pack. She said, I got to get out of this jam.
Pueblo capitalizing on that lead jammer status. That's where all of their points have come from here, those 12 points, making that up. Also for West Texas, that lead jammer status helping them greatly in their point scoring, except for that one by Dream Eraser in the previous jam to the one that we just saw.
And we're off again. It's going to be Bam Bam blocker for West Texas, Billy Foul play for Pueblo. Up at the front here, we've got Bam Bam blocker deciding to swing around the outside. She does a nice little turnaround, takes lead jammer. Billy Foul play able to find her way out as well, and now chasing down Bam Bam blocker. Bam Bam taking a risk as she comes into the pack, signals to call it off. It was a little late. She picks up no points. She gives up one to Pueblo, and they're going to have to watch be more aware of their jammers as we continue.
Great job by Billy Foul play, putting on the pressure and speed in that last jam to snag a point there, picking the strange fruit, as it were.
That's the way to do it, too. Pick the strange fruit. I like that expression. I am going to have to steal that.
It's a song by Billie Holiday.
I was unaware of that.
Yes.
I'll have to listen to it.
It's actually quite serious and rather depressing. 17-13 now. Number 11, Dream Eraser with a star for the ladies in black and purple, and she becomes lead jammer.
Fridge being pushed to the inside, jamming for Pueblo. Has to recycle behind Scary go round, but she doesn't give up. She's back in, looking to clear the pack and hold the damage to as low as she can. But Dream Eraser just shows the speed, puts on the speed into the pack. 5-point grand slam as she passes through, and Fridge now free, so she's going to be able to stop that points from accumulating. Dream Eraser comes in, takes a little bit of a fall as she comes into the back wall. She is going to get a couple more points up on the board and take her team to 24.
West Texas sending Scarrig around to the penalty box at the end of that jam. So West Texas, because of that clockwise block, will be down one blocker in this jam. 24-13, 9-point difference between these two teams.
We've got number 667, Ringo Scar, facing off against number 55, Wild Wookie. And Ringo Scar takes the inside line. She is hard to move, so she's able to walk right by and take lead jammer for Pueblo.
Pueblo breaking a 3 jam in a row lead jammer status, domination by West Texas.
And that means good things for Pueblo as Ringo Scar in and walking through the pack. She's going to go ahead and put up 4 for Pueblo and call off the jam. That's good. That's a good win for Pueblo, especially being down. They need to make a change up here. I know they're coming into this wanting to take another win from Mayday.
Jam refs in this game are Rockety and Dick Derby. And head ref for this game is Cruel Hand Luke.
I love the jammer ref height differential going on out there.
It makes it actually very easy for me to pick out Rockety in a crowd. However, I saw her earlier this morning with her hair did, and I didn't recognize her at first as she was talking to me.
Alla in your biz now as the jam starts. She takes to the outside. She's able to swing right by, grab lead jammer for Pueblo. Once again, that's 2 in a row for Pueblo. Now 7-7-7. Scarlet Renegade for West Texas finds her way out of the pack after taking some brutal hits. Everybody screaming, call it at Alla. She's going to call it. She did manage to pick up 3 points during that pass.
3 points for Ala. But the best thing that I like, and the thing that I noticed yesterday during their game against ICT that I called, she has the biggest, happiest grin on her face when she's jamming. It doesn't matter if she's lead or not.
It was funny. I saw her post that her jam ref came to her after their bout with ICT and said, "We're not supposed to smile when we ref, but every time I would look at you, you had this big smile on your face, so I had to smile myself."
Billy Foulplay taking the star for the ladies in yellow, who are down only by 4 points to Texas right now.
Bam Bam Blocker for West Texas really doesn't want her to get out and get lead, but Billy Foulplay does. She is the lead jammer for Pueblo. And that, if I remember correctly, that's going to be the third lead jam in a row for Pueblo. Bam Bam Blocker still struggling at the front of the pack, takes a little bit of a hit from Harley Innocent, who tries to hold her up, but she's out and now eligible to score, so Billy needs to pay attention here. And there she does. She heard people screaming, "Call it, call it." She does. She picks up 2 more points for Pueblo, so we're down to a 2-point game.
24-22 right now. West Texas taking one of their team timeouts. They now have 2 left for the game, 3 still for Pueblo. We're seeing some great play out here. I actually, I think I remember Billy Foulplay's first Mayday Mayhem. I think it was the year before you started with them, Smash.
You know, I couldn't say because I only was here for last year's Mayday Mayhem, but I do believe they've been here for all 4 Mayday Mayhems. I'm seeing that in my notes here, as a matter of fact. So yeah, they've definitely been here probably a couple before I was involved with Mayday.
I believe actually it was the...
Also, if you've got family and friends that are not in the building, you want to make sure that...
Hang on 2 seconds here. I'm trying to pick my brain. I mean, you get to be 1 year older than being able to run for president, and all of a sudden your brain just goes mush. You know what? She actually was at that very first Mayday Mayhem because I missed Mayday Mayhem number 2. So she was at that very first Mayday Mayhem, and she was brand spanking new back then. And I was actually impressed because she is a bit younger than myself, and she is such a huge Billie Holiday fan. Pueblo, actually a very large rockabilly kind of center of Colorado. It's very interesting for me to go down there because it strikes me a lot like Ventura County, where I lived for the last 2 years. And our jam is back in play. Frigidaire with the star for the ladies in yellow, but Dream Eraser, number 11, pulling out with the lead jammer status.
Dream Eraser going to go ahead. As she looks behind her, she sees Fridge tracking her down. She's going to get out of that jam. Not a bad decision when you've got the jammers that close. So that was probably a very strategic call on Dream Eraser's part there.
West Texas in that last jam, breaking a 3-jam lead jammer status streak for Pueblo. Hopefully maybe building a little bit of momentum headed into this next jam.
And we'll see as it's number 55, Wild Wookie, facing off against number 667, Ringo Scar. We've seen them match up before, and Ringo Scar has won the previous match, I believe, if I remember correctly. And Ringo Scar, again, lead jammer for Pueblo. And Wild Wookie getting hung up in the pack. Actually, Wild Wookie picking up a back block call. She's off to the penalty box. This is just what Pueblo needs right now, is a power jam so they can make a lead change happen. And there it is. 5 points for Ringo Scar is going to take Pueblo into the lead.
This is the 3rd lead change thus far with about 15 minutes left in the first half.
I would almost put money on this won't be the last one. Based on the play we've seen. There goes Ringo Scar getting a low block call. She's off to the penalty box. So in just a few moments, we're going to have Wild Wookie back on the track and possibly another lead change if she's able to get out and put points on the board.
Ringo definitely probably sitting on some points as she sits in the penalty box. So keep that in mind as you watch Wild Wookie come up on the inside, and she is now ready to score.
That's it. That was her initial pass, so no points change yet. Wild Wookie now eligible to score. The pack is waiting for her. She gets some offense from Scary Go Round. A whistle being blown. Direction of play on Scary Go Round. She's off to the penalty box. 5 points picked up by Wild Wookie on that pass. Ringo Scar coming back on the track. She's through all 5 also. She picked up that jammer point before she went to the box. And Wild Wookie back in. This is a full 2-minute jam, so they're just going to keep racking up as many points as they can. Wookie through is going to put another 5 points on the board. And there's Ringo Scar through. Pretty easy for her. Another 5 for Pueblo. So they're just trading off 5 points here. It's going to be who gets the last hit in there.
4 points in that last jam, or in that last pass for Ringo Scar. But Ringo Scar on the inside, but she was too far on the inside. This is her second penalty for this jam.
And the jam comes to an end, so that means it's going to be a West Texas power jam when we come back with the next jam.
So how the points are shaking out here, 15-11 in that last jam. Pueblo eking it out. 2 extra points. That would be the 2 jammer lap points during that power jam that Pueblo had. But Pueblo now sitting in the box. We're going to start the first 30 seconds of this next jam in a power jam for West Texas.
And that's going to be Bam Bam Blocker on the jam line, looking to change things up. She comes right into Mother Trucker again, and now Jamie Foxshoe able to take her out with a nice hip check. Mother Trucker tries to stop her from making it through, but Bam Bam Blocker not going to have it. Lead jammer goes to West Texas.
Pack right now in the little sausage link formation for West Texas. And Bam Bam being forced to pick up the back block penalty force. Ringo Scar, though, released to re-enter. She's going to go ahead and build some momentum heading around the track as Bam Bam goes to sit for 30 seconds. Power jam, advantage Pueblo. And we will go the remaining minute, 16 seconds.
And Ringo Scar through and now eligible to score for Pueblo. So I'm not seeing any points up on the scoreboard yet, so we're not sure what we've got going on for Bam Bam Blocker during her time on the track. But now Ringo Scar looking to put points up for Pueblo, and she's through. That's going to be the first 5 for Pueblo in this jam.
Pack lining up for a little more. Bam Bam Blocker released to the penalty box just as Ringo Scar hits the pack. She breaks loose from the West Texas defense and picks up 5 points.
She does get all 5 for that pass because Bam Bam was in the box when she came into the pack. Bam Bam still struggling to get around the front there. Harley Innocent with a nice swing and taking her to the outside. She's got a small recycle as Harley fell over after that hit. Bam Bam coming all the way through. She's going to pick up 4 points for West Texas, and there's 4 more points for Ringo Scar, who just kind of moseys on through the back there.
9 seconds left on that jam clock. Both jammers fighting to pick up a few more points before the end of the jam.
Ringo Scar back in and pushing her way to the front. She does pick up all 4 on that pass, and we're looking at 2 more for West Texas.
6 total for West Texas in that last jam. 17 for Pueblo, 54-41 right now here on track 2 with 10 minutes left in the first half.
Pueblo really giving West Texas a run for their money, and when the power jam happened earlier for West Texas, they were able to slow everything down, so West Texas wasn't able to pick up a whole lot of points. And number 11 now, that's Dream Eraser again for West Texas. Quickly coming off the line, wants to change that up. She is out in lead jammer. Ala Iñibiz gets recycled early on in this jam, but she comes back in. A big hit on number 1013, Miss Zero, and she takes a spill and has to get back up. Cutting the track, going to be going to number 99, Iron Fist Ghost.
Dream Eraser picks up her 5 points and calls off the jam. Score now 46-55. 9 points between these two teams and about 9 minutes left on that period clock.
I see Mother Trucker sitting in the penalty box as well. So both teams going to be down a blocker as we start this jam. We'll be 3-on-3. Both jammers out and ready to go. It's Billy Foul Play up on the jam line for Pueblo, and it's going to be Wild Wookie for West Texas. Wild Wookie gets hung up in the front there by Nitro Jen and taken out to the outside. She's going to have to recycle ever so slightly. Billy Foul Play, meanwhile, up at the front, has to get around Scary Go Round. She does. Lead jammer goes to Pueblo. Right behind her, Wild Wookie looking to catch up to her, but Billy Foul Play looking to stay in the game and put some more points on the board for Pueblo. She comes into the pack. She starts signaling to to call off the jam. She is able to pass and pick up 2 points before the 4th whistle.
3 points in the air from Dick Derby there in that last jam. 3-0, 58-46. West Texas also losing Randy Reckless, their pivot, to the penalty box, and she is still seated in the box. So West Texas will start this one blocker down.
Let's see if that gives Fridge an opportunity to grab lead jammer with the little bit of a blocker advantage. Fridge taken out and recycled. Scarlet Renegade picking up a back block call as she came into Pueblo's wall. Both jammers are headed to the box. It's going to be a race to see who can sit first. There will be no lead jammer. This jam will go for 2 seconds. Both jammers picking up penalties back to back. You don't often see that happen.
That was a cut track penalty that'll send Fridge to the box. Fridge not sure if she should sit down, stand up, or do the hokey pokey. Scarlet Renegade released to the pack. Fridge not far behind her.
Scarlet Renegade comes in hard on Lady Lorna and gets right back up and going. Fridge, meanwhile, makes her way through and is now eligible to score. Scarlet Renegade with another big hit to the outside, but she's up and moving. Pueblo's blockers at the front of the pack holding things up. Meanwhile, West Texas's blockers at the back of the pack slowing down Fridge. Remember now, Fridge is eligible to score. We're still waiting for Scarlet Renegade to break the pack to be eligible to score. So this could give an advantage to Pueblo if Fridge can clear this pack as well. Fridge continuing to be taken to the outside. That's Ms. Zero doing that management there as we see Scarlet Renegade escape the front side of the pack. Now she's on her way for her scoring pass.
38 seconds remaining in this jam, and neither jammer has scored any points yet. Smashed.
I know this, and the defense here has been just amazing. Number 88, Sour Patch, looking to take Fridge out, but Fridge finally able to find the way out of that pack. 5 points go on the board for Pueblo. Lady Lorna holding up Scarlet Renegade at the back there with Havoc her way. Now past Lady Lorna, Havoc her way is doing her best to hold back Scarlet Renegade, and now Jamie Foxshope taking out Scarlet Renegade, but going out herself. Fridge taking a big hit from Miss Zero. And that jam comes to an end. 4 more points go on the board for Scarlet Renegade and 3 for Pueblo during that last pass.
8-4 in that last jam. Pueblo pulling ahead 66-50. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Do you like what you see?
I am loving what I'm seeing so far. We're seeing some hard play, some very thoughtful play by both teams about managing what's going on in the pack. Some very excellent blocking from both teams. It's a lot of work for the jammers, but the blockers are definitely doing their job out there. We've got Ringo Scar jamming for Pueblo and Dream Eraser for West Texas. Ringo Scar already out in lead jammer, but Dream Eraser looking to shut down this jam is chasing after her. Ringo into the pack, comes through, takes a hit from number 913, Miss Innocent, and goes to the infield, but not before picking up 2 more points for Pueblo.
2 points for Pueblo in that last jam puts them up 68-50. You know, Ringo's going to have to watch those call-offs when she gets nudged into the infield like that. I saw her skate cross that other rope. And it's a good thing that her jam ref had started blowing the jam dead. Otherwise, she would have picked up a track cut had he not blown the whistle immediately.
You're absolutely right. And she's already, from my recollection, she's already picked up 2 cuts for similar reasons where she stepped into the infield and right back, came back in. We had a short official timeout there, but I see it's over, and we're going to get back to the bout here in just a moment. But you are absolutely correct. Those cutting the track penalties could be detrimental to her and could lead to Pueblo being down a jammer. We're on our way into the next bout. Ala Inyabiz comes back up to the line for Pueblo. And Bam Bam blocker for West Texas. Ala Inyabiz is going to pick up a cut. I thought I saw her step to the outfield and then step back on. It was enough to draw that cut. That means West Texas with a much-needed power jam. Bam Bam blocker up against Jamie Foxy up and Mother Trucker at the front of the pack, but they get out of play, so that means Bam Bam blocker going to take lead jammer.
Right now, only 18 points separating these two teams. Power jam advantage, West Texas. A great opportunity for Bam Bam blocker to sew up the difference between those two scores, but instead she gets a track cut forced on her by Pueblo's defense. They are going to swap out just as Ala actually was told to stand. So we're going to have pretty much a 20-second penalty for Bam Bam.
And
I'm sorry. Yes, Bam Bam.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And now Ala, it was You wouldn't think you'd smile coming out of the penalty box, but she was happy she gets to go back and do some jamming. Alla's still on her initial pass, so she won't get any points on this pass, but it will make her eligible to score if she can get through clean, and she does.
And fancy. She came through clean and fancy there, Smash.
That was a very a dancey kind of break through a wall. And both jammers now back on the track as Bam Bam Blocker works her way back up into the pack, looking to put points on the board for West Texas. Alla through. That's going to be the first 4 points for Pueblo during this jam. Bam Bam Blocker getting held up, I apologize, at the front of the pack by Jamie Foxshope and Harley Anderson, but she's through, going to pick up all 5 because she had passed Alla before she went to the penalty box.
Another 4 points for Ali Inyabiz. That's... Oh. Da. Do. Boop. Sunday. 9 points for both of those jammers in that jam. The score discrepancy still remains the same. It's just a little higher, 59-77. Pueblo up on top, but not by much. We've got 3 minutes and 14 seconds left on that first period clock.
And you know that works really well for Pueblo. They're fine with shaving time off the clock and keeping the score differential the same. Billy Foul Play up to jam for Pueblo, number 55. Wild Wookie for West Texas. And Billy Foul Play able to make easy work of the blockers from West Texas, but Wild Wookie still stuck in the pack. Billy Foul Play lead jammer. Nitrogen headed off to the penalty box, so that's going to put Pueblo down a blocker. So West Texas with a little bit of a blocker advantage. Billy Foul Play comes back into the pack. She turns herself around, sees Wild Wookie coming. She's going to call it off. Billy Foul Play picks up 1 point, but holds West Texas to 0.
78-59, 2.5 minutes here left in the first period. Smash, both of these teams have played some significantly better teams than themselves this weekend. West Texas, actually, I had a chance to be on the call for their game against Sioux City, and to watch them adapt from first period to second period play was actually kind of a bit of derby magic. And so I'm looking forward to see what West Texas will bring to adapt to this Pueblo defense. Dream Eraser out there right now with the black star on her helmet.
Fridge jamming for Pueblo is taken down before she can clear the pack, so it's all about Dream Eraser right now, looking to change up the score. And you're right about coming to a tournament, playing those higher-seeded teams. It's just a great chance to learn and celebrate those small victories that you learn, that you take from the learning that you're able to get as the tournament progresses.
Fridge edged almost half a track around from the pack as Dream Eraser given the opportunity to pick up 5 points. Frigidaire, though, out and ready to score points. Now let's see if Dream Eraser is aware. And she is. She goes ahead and calls off the jam.
So we're seeing a lot of good jammer awareness out there from both teams. That's a really important thing. And another thing you just mentioned about Fridge, she really does make good use of her toe stops, walking along the outside and inside line, and she's able to take a hit without taking a fall or a spill to the inside or the outside and causing a cut.
67-78, Pueblo still on top, less than a minute on that period clock. We've got Ringo Scar on the line for Pueblo. She is jamming against Scarlet.
Scarlet Renegade comes into the big Kapowski, who we lovingly call the Pow Pow, and gets held up. So she is still stuck at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Ringo Scar really driving the front of the pack, pushes those last couple blockers out of play and takes lead jammer for Pueblo. Meanwhile, Scarlet Renegade now back up in the front of the pack, looking to clear the rest of the blockers. She does. She's eligible. Sunday, eligible to score. Ringo Scar comes around. She knows she's going to go ahead and get her 4 and call off the jam.
4 more points for Pueblo. 11 seconds on the clock. 82-67. We're probably going to see this period clock just run out.
And that's it. We go to halftime. Pueblo with a tentative lead right now. And we've seen West Texas make a couple of comebacks already.
Yeah, 82-67 is not something that you go to the, well, quote-unquote locker room and say, oh, yeah, guys, we got this in the second half. That certainly leads to some bad game psychology. So Pueblo going to have to take a look at what they're doing well and continue to do it well. And of course, West Texas looking to strategize. It'll be actually, I'm really excited to see how West Texas adapts in this second half. I watched them start to pick up some Sioux City defensive tactics during their game with them, and that's carried through in their other game yesterday as well. And so I'm really interested that they've started sort of developing those strengths, and I'm sure that they will continue putting those to use in the second half.
I am absolutely sure that what you just analyzed for us is correct. I know Pueblo's here to take a win. I talked to some of them before about, I know West Texas wants this win bad too. But to find out who wins, you're going to have to come back in just a few minutes and rejoin us. I'm Bangers and Smash.
And I'm Miscommunication. We'll be back in about 14 minutes. And we are back. Again, I'm Miscommunication.
And I'm Bangers and Smash.
Score right now, 82-67, and really fast while we get this equipment check done. We had 25 jams in the first half of gameplay, and Pueblo, actually, this is very interesting to me. They held that lead jammer status only 12 of those 25 times, 10 of those 25 times for West Texas. Just FYI, if a jammer has lead jammer status and they lost it in their penalty box, that is not included in my statistic of lead jammer counts. But here we go to the high-scoring jam for each team. We had Ringo Scar in with a 18-point power jam in the last half, but Wild Wookie with a whopping 10 points as a high-scoring jam in that first half. With these 30-second penalties, we are not seeing runaway jams very often any longer in flat track play.
I think that helps just to make the excitement level that much more as we get back into the jam number 11. Dreamy Racer makes quick work of the pack, takes lead jammer for West Texas. West Texas coming back with a vengeance. Number 133, Ala Iñibiz, jamming for Pueblo, is out and eligible to score. And here comes Dreamy Racer back into the pack, looking to put points. She's through, gets chased down by Jamie Foxio, but she says, I'm done. I got my 4. I'm going to get out. She puts 4 points on the board for West Texas. I have a feeling we're going to see West Texas do that, 4 and out, and try to attempt that lead change.
Yeah, and I think also West Texas wanting to come in with a kind of bam pow and be explosive here in the second half. We've got 71 points for them, 82 for Pueblo, and we have Bam Bam Blocker and Billy Foul Play for their respective teams jamming. Smash.
If you happen to be just joining us, West Texas is in the black. Pueblo is in that bright yellow. I don't know what color to really call it.
Highlighter yellow.
Highlighter yellow. There you go. Bam Bam Blocker with lead jammer. West Texas coming right off the bench and into this game, and 2 lead jams in a row. It does Bam Bam Blocker. No. Billy Foul Play's in. No. Billy Foul Play gonna get through there. 3 points for Bam Bam Blocker, but Pueblo able to pick up all 4 during that pass.
Great hustle by Billy Foul Play, 4-3 in that last jam with West Texas holding that lead jammer status. I think Bam Bam kind of lost sight of where the other jammer was on the track and didn't quite realize where Billy Foul Play was until it was too late.
I think that's exactly what happened, and I think she heard her bench screaming, call it, and it was just that too late right there. Number T21, Frigidaire for Pueblo jamming. Number 55, Wild Wookie for West Texas. Both jammers still in the pack. I'm seeing a cutting the track call going to
number 88 for Pueblo. No.
That's 69, Harley
69.
Innocent. But I believe the track cut is actually on 55, Wild Wookie, who just took a seat. Lead jammer is Fridge, and she's got a power jam. She's going real slow into the pack. I think just trying to make sure she's avoiding any penalties there. Out of play, forced by Fridge there after just a little bit of push on the wall. That's going to be all 5 for Pueblo.
Pueblo looking to run away and capitalize on this power jam. Wild Wookie already on her feet, though, so we've only got 10 seconds left in this power jam for Fridge.
And the pack stays steady as Fridge gets taken to the inside by the West Texas wall. Meanwhile, we've got Wild Wookie rejoining us. She decides to go the long way around, which was probably a wise idea. And another call on Wild Wookie. She gets a back block as Fridge puts 5 more points on the board for Pueblo. So Fridge with a whole nother 30 seconds plus however long it takes Wild Wookie to sit down to put points on the board for Pueblo. But it looks like Fridge getting worn out there. She's slowed herself down. But maybe she's just saving herself in case something happens later in the game, too. There is another 26 minutes at least of play. Frigidaire through for another 5 points.
50 points thus far for Fridge. We've got a little mini sausage links in the pack that are the Pueblo defense, looking as passive as my dear sweet grandmother when she wants to say something that she dislikes in her nicest tone of voice. Big brace at the top of the pack. West Texas trying to kill that penalty as best they can, but Fridge through again. She's got 20 points on the board for this jam.
And Fridge going to bring the jam to an end. Right as the jam ended, Wild Wookie came back in and she got an illegal procedure. I didn't see what the illegal procedure was for. Did you happen to catch anything?
9 times out of 10, receiving an illegal procedure while coming out of the box is that you have failed to re-enter in play legally from the box, meaning that probably one of Pueblo's blockers was still, or probably one member of the pack, I apologize, one member of the pack was behind her when she re-entered. Score now 106-74. Pueblo running away with it in that last jam. Ringo Scar anchoring this power jam for Pueblo.
Now Ringo Scar, we already know, has been able to put up a big number of points for Pueblo. She had the highest scoring until just the last jam when Fridge took it over. But Ringo's going to look to change that up. There goes the first 5 in the sky for Ringo. Now I saw the penalty tracker in the box holding up 5 fingers above Wild Wookie. I'm going to suppose that probably was a signal that she is standing at 5 penalties. Ringo Scar back into the pack. Wild Wookie rejoining us, being held up by Nitrogen in the pack there. And Ringo Scar through, going to pick up all 5 once again for Pueblo.
And Wild Wookie out of the pack, ready to score points. Ringo Scar calling off the jam. Now, we've had a lot of talk. I'm sure announcers have been blabbing all over the place about these new, really great 30-second penalties. But I think there's a psychological impact that comes in there as well, because now you can pick up 3 penalties in one jam, or as Wild Wookie just did in that last jam. And that has got to be, a minute and a half sitting in the penalty box and kind of, banging yourself in the head about what you did can't be very great on the jammer's head when she re-enters the game.
I don't imagine it is. Number 11, Dream Eraser, coming off the line after the whistle. She takes lead jammer for West Texas. This is the first one in a while for West Texas, I believe. Number 133, Ala Inyabis, still stuck in the pack, trying to get out to be eligible for Pueblo. And she's past that last blocker. Dream Eraser makes quick work of the pack. She's through, puts Dick Derby taking a spill there. I'm not sure how many fingers he had because he had to catch himself.
He had 4 up in the air before he went to catch himself on his hands, which I hear as a beginning skater is not a good way to fall. But that's all right. Dick Derby is my show pony.
And he's definitely not a beginning skater. We've known Dick Derby in Colorado for a number of many years now. He's been around as long as Derby has, I think, here in Colorado. We're pretty close.
He was 18 or 19 when he started officiating in women's flat track derby. 116.78 with 23 minutes left in the half. Billy Foul Play getting forced to the back by that West Texas waterfall.
And it's a Bam Bam blocker already up at the front of the pack, and she clears Jamie Foxshup. Lead jammer goes to West Texas. Billy Foulplay finds her way out of the pack quickly. She is racing to catch up to Bam Bam Blocker, but Bam Bam Blocker coming into the pack, and is she going to be able to stop Billy? I think she may have called it too late once again. Yes, yep. Billy Foulplay picks up 2, and Bam Bam Blocker with just 1. Once again, we come into that situation where jammer awareness is very important.
I think what's happening here as well is not only is Bam Bam kind of losing sight of the other jammer on the track, but also West Texas's defense remaining at the rear of the pack when their jammer is lead jammer out first with the other jammer coming up against her. I think if West Texas would have moved their line of defense up to the top of the pack, then Bam Bam would have been okay, Smash.
I agree 100% with you on that. Let's see if Dream Eraser can make something happen for West Texas here. She is back in, and she's facing off against the Fridge, another one of Pueblo's high scores. As a matter of fact, she holds the high score for Jam right now. Oh no, Dream Eraser picking up a cutting penalty. That means Fridge, once she's free, has an opportunity to take lead jammer and get score for Pueblo. There it is. We had a little bit of a hold up. There are some penalties where Cess Nitrogen heads off to the penalty box, and also Miss Zero. So we're down 1 blocker for each team, and still a power jam for Fridge. Fridge once again approaching the pack slowly, assessing where she's going to go, using her footwork really well. She's through. There's 5 more for Pueblo. Pueblo really being able to increase their leads as they go.
79-123 now with Bam Bam slamming into the back of that Pueblo defense coming out of the pack. Forces Fridge to call it off. 0-0 in that last scoring pass. 5-0, though, total for Pueblo. Really, it's going to come down to this, Smash. West Texas has to keep their jammer out of the penalty box.
They really do. Here in the at the beginning of the jam, they came back. I'm sorry, at the beginning of the half, they came back really strong, but now they're giving up those jammer penalties, and Pueblo is going to take advantage of that.
Scarlet Renegade on the line for the ladies in black. She is up against a Ringo Scar in yellow. Out in front, Ringo Scar, lead jammer for Pueblo.
Pueblo losing Mother Trucker to the box. And, oh, my goodness, as miscommunication just pointed out, West Texas, you've got to stop with the jammer penalties. There goes Scarlet Renegade to the penalty box. I tried to squish all those words together.
Mother Trucker and Jamie Fox You Up, though, headed out for Pueblo for a 30-second sit as another 5 points goes up on the scoreboard via Ringo Scar.
Ringo Scar is a great jammer for Pueblo. She's got the speed that's necessary to get the points on the board in these power jam situations, and she's also really tough to move. When you come into a wall, I've seen people hit Ringo Scar and then bounce right off of her, and that's a great thing for Pueblo to have a blammer like Ringo Scar.
Number 13, Shadow Smith lays out Ringo Scar just as Scarlett comes in from the penalty box. Ringo calling off the jam. She does get an additional 2 points, 12 points total for Ringo Scar on that power jam. 135-79. And you know, I always used to tell my friends, the Ventura County Derby Darlings, who I used to call for, we used to have a contract because I like to see their tucuses out on the track because they are very nice looking, and I cannot see them when they are in the penalty box. It's our contract we have with each other for my enjoyment as their announcer.
And I agree. That should apply to every team. They should just make a contract with their announcer that they're going to show off their tucuses rather than have them placed in a seat. Now we're back in the action. Bam Bam Blocker clears the pack, takes lead jammer, but Ala Iñiguez right there on her tail. She's going to go ahead and get out of that jam. She doesn't want to risk giving up any points to Pueblo.
And you are enjoying this presentation of the Mayday Mayhem 2014 in part due to Sticker Giant. They are the custom sticker experts. Check them out at www.stickergiant.com. Use the code RollerDerby at checkout and get 10% off your order.
Great way to put numbers on the side of your helmet, which is allowed. And helps out announcers to be able to identify who you are. We got Dream Eraser jamming for West Texas, facing off against number 1936, Billy Foulplay. And oh no, once again, it's going to be a jammer penalty for West Texas. Back block this time, so Billy Foul Play clears the pack. Now lead jammer for Pueblo. The pack is going to stand right here next to us, so it'll be real easy to see what's going on as Billy Foul Play comes back in to put points on the board. Scary go round seems to be the last line of defense a lot of times there for West Texas. She's going to get an out-of-play penalty. She's out now, and Billy Foul Play's got 5. West Texas down to 3 blockers.
Billy Foul Play slamming into Sour Patch at the top of the pack. West Texas looking to build their bridge. And a bit further out from 20 feet, gets engaged by a blocker as Dream Eraser comes back into the pack.
Pueblo's wall ready for her, though, as she gets hung up by Jamie Foxshoop and Pouble there at the back. She does manage to escape, though, and is now eligible to score. So, as I kind of predicted in my head, Billy Foul Play is going to go ahead and end the jam after putting up 15 points for Pueblo during that jam.
15-0 in that last, 14-0 in that last jam brings Pueblo's score now 149-79. Just under 17 minutes remaining in the jam. I took a look at my unofficial scribblings, and Dream Eraser. Oh, sorry, that was 15 points. Sorry about that. To 150-79, and I'll tell you about penalties later. Smash.
Sorry about that. I just saw the correction happen. I wanted to make sure that you saw that too, because I know you're keeping some unofficial, official stats, as you have coined that term, miscommunication, and I appreciate that you're doing that for us. Fridge and Dream Eraser back out there. I see a forearm being called. That is on Mother Trucker. No, it's not. It's on Miss Zero. She's headed off the penalty box. That puts West Texas down 1. Both jammers, Fridge has gotten out and is eligible to score. She just hit the back of the pack, so I'm not sure if she got the lead call. She is lead. Oh, and Dream Eraser picks up a cutting the track penalty, so it's all for the Fridge now.
This is a Dream Eraser's second jam in a row due to that penalty last jam, and she will head back to the box, and we will have a score now of 155-79. Now, I went back through my scribblings, and I only keep scribblings for when someone jams. So there's your caveat there. I'm not sure if anybody picked up something while they were blocking. Dream Eraser, though, with that trip to the box, is sitting on 3 jammer penalties. And Wild Wookie with that 3 in a row and then another one later, she's sitting on 4 jammer penalties.
Pueblo's loving this, though. It's a real good chance for them to increase the lead. They've got Ringo Scar coming through quickly, making work of the pack, and an illegal procedure being given to Miss Zero as she came back on. I believe that was an illegal re-entry. So Ringo Scar is going to stay with just 3 blockers to have to defeat for West Texas. I see Pueblo down just to 3-2, so we're even in the pack, but Ringo Scar definitely going to take advantage of not having a star running up against her here.
Ringo Scar fighting at the top of the pack against number 206, Bombshell Bone, who we actually saw jam yesterday. And but she does get by, and she gets 5 points on the board as Dream Eraser is cleared to score, but that was right at the end of the jam. 165-79. I promise you I won't talk about the penalty box in this 30-second break. So we've got 14 minutes remaining here on this third day on the second track of the 8th place game here at Mayday Mayhem 2014. We basically doubled the tournament this year, and it's been massively fabulous. If you have enjoyed your time here on Colorado Sports TV, please click on that Donate Now button and give us a few dollars in thanks for our work this weekend. Bam Bam Blocker on the line up against Alia Inubiz.
And Bam Bam Blocker already out, and lead jammer Ala Inubiz getting hung up there. She's taken to the outside by a hit, but able to make it good and comes along the outside and eligible to score as Bam Bam Blocker comes back into the pack. And oh my goodness, another penalty back block on Bam Bam Blocker. This means power jam for Pueblo. And as I stated earlier, Pueblo loving this because they're able to extend their lead without having to exert a whole lot of blocking pressure on the other team.
Alla in your biz, though, not lead jammer. I apologize. Was Bam Bam she wasn't lead jam. We don't have a lead jammer in this jam. We will go the remaining minute 10. Also, I did spy with my little eye Wild Wookie headed to the penalty box on a blocking penalty. That brings her penalty count to 5, which is dangerous when you're a jammer.
And it may be higher if we don't know her blocker penalties too. It's a possibility that may have been the last one based on what we were seeing earlier. With like I said, I saw that 5 held up above her head earlier. 5 more points, by the way, for Ala Inyabiz as she comes through the pack. Bam Bam Blocker now back out there. Pueblo once again trying to force a penalty on Bam Bam Blocker. They have been successful getting some calls on the jammers, but it looks like this time it's going to be Nitrogen headed to the penalty box for an out-of-play block.
4 points in the air for Bam Bam in West Texas. And Ala trying to call it off, but she is not lead.
Well, what
Rockety
happened,
says, you're not going to trick me.
What happened was initially Bam Bam Blocker got out, got lead, came around and back blocked, so she went to the penalty box, so Ala couldn't be lead. So that's why Ala is unable to call off the jam, even though she looked like she wanted to. That's okay. She'll keep on smiling. She puts another 4 points in the sky, and the jam does come to its natural conclusion. 2 more points go up for Bam Bam Blocker.
2 more points for Bam Bam Blocker in that last jam, and we've got 10 points total. For West Texas, 89, 188 for Pueblo, 23 points put up on the board by Alia Inyabiz. And I just want to give a quick point of clarification for yourself and the audience, Smash. If that was indeed Wild Wookie's last penalty, she actually would not have been allowed to rejoin play. So probably she is sitting on 6 penalties right now, maybe 5.
That is probably a very good guess. And let's see, number 777, Scarlet Renegade, already trying to fight to get out of that pack, but taken to the inside, the outside, then the inside, and we're losing number 206, Bombshell Bone, to the penalty box. Inside the pack, we have Billy Foul Play through for all 5 points.
Scarlet Renegade still contending with the top of the pack. She does get past Mother Trucker, though, and she is ready to score as well. Billy Foul Play, though, looking behind her after passing that last West Texas blocker, and she calls off the jam. She does pick up 4 additional points there, 9 points on that jam. Pueblo now close to the 2-century mark, 197 to 89. Team timeout being called to West Texas. They are down to 1 timeout left. 3 still on the board for Pueblo.
And West Texas really not giving Pueblo any reason to call for a timeout. Pueblo has played a pretty solid game. Yes, they've given up some penalties, but they're not giving up jammer penalties, which is really good for Pueblo. Who, like I said, I know both teams wanted to come into this and take a win, and Pueblo, having been here for a number of Mayday Mayhems and not having the best results, is happy to take the win. And West Texas, this is their first showing at Mayday Mayhem, and like I said, I know they want to win. With 10:26 remaining on the clock, that score gap is going to be kind of hard to crush. It's not undoable, but it's definitely going to need, I mean, like you said earlier, miscommunication, they're going to have to stop giving up jammer penalties.
Did you just call me misconduct?
I think I was about to say something. I have no idea what I was going to say.
I probably think that's maybe a ref somewhere.
Probably. My brain just likes to squish words together after a while.
It's Sunday. Sunday, what happens to Sunday on a 3-day tournament, for those of you who have never had to talk all the way through a tournament, is that the words start to get very mushy in your brain. And not in a good way, like mashed potatoes, more in a bad way, like grits, of which I am not a fan of.
Oh, I like grits.
Dream Eraser on the I like grits. Dream Eraser on the line for West Texas, and Fridge up for Pueblo.
I'm glad I was able to give you a laugh there. And Fridge quickly makes work of the pack. She started on the outside, then she rethought where she was at. She went to the inside, found that hole. Lead jammer goes to Pueblo. Meanwhile, Dream Eraser out of the pack and eligible to score herself. Let's see if Fridge is aware of where Dream Eraser is, and it looks like Dream Eraser is going to make it in the pack. And looks like she's going to put some points on the board.
That would be 1 point for her, 0 points for Fridge.
So small win for Texas on that jam. That's something to celebrate at this point in time.
Well, you know, Fridge leaving the door open and just staring inside of the pack for too long. by the time her mom had a chance to yell at her that she was letting all the energy out, 1 point for West Texas, and she calls off the jam. 197-90. We've got 9 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the game. And Bangers and Smash only thinks I'm funny because it's Sunday after 2 long days of tournament work. 2 tournaments for Bangers and Smash this weekend. 143 Bam Bam Blocker on the line for West Texas, up against number 667 Ringo Ska.
And now we're changing things up. West Texas coming back. Bam Bam Blocker is lead jammer. And Ringo Scar, oh my goodness, picks up a low block, so she's off to the penalty box. Power jam for Texas. Let's see if they can make this matter for him as Bam Bam Blocker back into the pack. She is through. All 5 go up on the board for West Texas.
5 more points for West Texas. We've got this power jam here. Ringo still sitting on her seat in the box as Bam Bam breaks through. 5 more points for her. She's definitely showing those colors that we saw yesterday where she was very effective on the power jam. Ringo Scar on her feet in the penalty box, less than 10 seconds remaining on her penalty. Bam Bam calls it off to create a power start for West Texas in this next jam.
And it's going to be Dream Eraser putting on the cap. Now, I kind of heard a little bit of a celebration from West Texas's bench as they broke the century mark there. Again, the small wins are always good to celebrate, especially when you're up against a team ranked slightly higher than you, and you're in this kind of a situation.
10 points for West Texas in that last jam. And on this power start, Dream Eraser is lead jammer. And finally, 8409, Big Kapowski, or Pow Pow, has to let her go, and she will be lead jammer just as Ringo re-enters the pack from about a quarter track behind, picking up some steam before entering.
Pleasurable Pain with the little help from Jamie Foxshope, able to take Dream Eraser out, and then Pow Pow going to put her on the ground as she recycles. Now Pow Pow taking her to the infield. Meanwhile, Ringo Scar back, not going to be lead jammer, but eligible to score. But Dream Eraser sees her, going to go ahead and call off the jam. Dream Eraser did get all 4 points during that pass.
5 points. We sometimes don't see thumbs when the ref's back is to us. 105, 197, 7 minutes left in the game.
West Texas putting on the pressure. It's not undoable.
It isn't.
Pueblo's,
you're just trying to avoid a cliche there.
Pueblo's really, I am actually. I don't want anybody playing bingo to be able to mark off that spot on me. Pueblo's got to stop from giving up those jammer penalties now too, because too many power jams is going to lead to a lead change. Scarlet Renegade jamming for West Texas at the front of the pack, makes her way around Mother Trucker, takes lead jammer. Ala Enyabez being recycled already, jamming for Pueblo, but she's going to go to the outside. This is her trick. She takes it to the outside, then she survives it again the second time. Yes, she does. Eligible to score. Scarlet Renegade comes into the pack, calls off the jam. It's going to be 0-0.
Yeah, all of her ricocheting and passing happened in the infield. Unfortunately, not picking up any points for her, but really just the greatness of having lead jammer status can help the team. I think really that penalty for Wild Wookie very early on here in the second half, we kind of watched a little deflated play from West Texas, and now they seem to be re-inflating and getting back out there on the attack. Bam Bam Blocker up against Billy Foul Play in this jam.
Harley Innocent tries to take Bam Bam Blocker out to the outside and then Havoc her way, luckily in space. So Bam Bam Blocker not able to get it in through the outside. Billy Foul Play, meanwhile, coming up against number 67, Randy Reckless, and getting hung up in the pack. I heard some whistles blowing. I'm waiting to see who. I think it may be just lead jammer for Billy Foul Play. Oh, no. I also see number 206, Bombshell Bone, going out for a low block call. Billy Foul Play back in, and there's a direction going on Scary Go Round. Billy Foul Play now back in, looking to put all the points on the board for Pueblo. She's going to get 4 of them and call off the jam as she saw that Bam Bam was approaching the back of the pack.
We're going to see that score eke up there to 197. 190. Sorry. Yeah,
Should
there we
break the
go.
century mark.
201 to 105. And we've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in this game. Coming up after this game, we have the men's championship here on track 2. That is going to be the Glenmore Reservoir Dogs, who made me lose my mind last night against Dallas, up against the Sioux City Cornstalkers. Frigidaire jamming and lead jammer for Pueblo.
And now the only jammer, as Dream Eraser gets a forearm call and is off to the penalty box. And now Fridge going to look to take advantage. She comes in slow, gets some help from Pouble. She's through. Going to put all 5 in the sky for Pueblo.
West Texas re-adding a bombshell bone, and also another one of their blockers headed in right now. Fridge slamming into the top of the pack, and she breaks 3. 5 points further for Pueblo. Smash.
The penalty box is emptying out, miscommunication, and all the blockers are back on the track. I see the jammer standing. Dream Eraser is now getting ready to come and return as Fridge comes through on another 5-point pass. Fridge going to go ahead and shut down the jam. I got to really give it to Fridge and Ringo Scar in this game. They have been putting up some massive points for Pueblo.
Well, and both of them able to drum on the defense. See what I did there?
I did see what you did there.
Really, these two jammers very effective in that passive offense strategy, because when their defensive line or offensive line deserts them at the back of the pack, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be ineffective against the other team's blockers up at the top.
You're right. I would say they qualify for that term, I don't know who coined it, blammer status. Ringo Scar, as we just were talking about, she's out to jam for Pueblo right now. Already has lead jammer. Scarlet Renegade in the pack, still fighting for position there. She comes out of the front side of the pack, not lead, but she is eligible to score. I see number 50, Pleasurable Pain, headed off the track. I'm not sure what the penalty call was, but that's going to put Pueblo down a blocker in the pack. Ringo Scar now in for a scoring pass. She's going to go ahead and make her way all the way through. Call off the jam, puts 4 on the board, but she does give up 2 points to West Texas, and that's something you want to avoid. I mean, even I get it. Now you're down to 2.5 minutes-ish left in the game. There's a pretty good spread, but why give up points if you don't have to?
Well, why not when you can burn seconds? Burn seconds, give up points. Burn seconds, give up points.
This is true for and now that I think about it, Pueblo with a higher rank, it's not gonna. The point spread won't make that much of a difference with just a couple points.
Just under 2 minutes on the board, 220-107. We've got Bam Bam Blocker up against Alla Inyabiz.
Bam Bam Blocker looking to get around Mother Trucker, and she does. Mother Trucker goes for a hit, and Bam Bam Blocker able to take her out. Bam Bam lead for West Texas. Alla Inyabiz escapes the front of the pack as well. As the pack gets into turn number 3, pack resets and lines up, waiting for the jammers to come in. Bam Bam Blocker in, signals to call it off. She's going to pick up all 4 before the end of the jam, but Alla Inyabiz continues to skate and picks up another 1.
She also playing like she's a jam ref. I believe she picked that up from Billy Foul Play. Bad habit to do, because you can't really jam ref yourself and put your own points up. Because then, I would just sew an extra hand to my hand so that 10 would go up every time I threw my hand in the air after a jam.
That would be a nice way to increase the score, for sure.
Right. And that's why we don't let jammers jam ref themselves.
Nitrogen getting a low block as she tries to take out Dream Eraser, who's jamming for West Texas. Dream Eraser doesn't let it phase her. She takes the lead jammer for West Texas.
43 seconds left on the game clock, 1 minute and 42 left on the jam clock. Dream Eraser going ahead and calling off the jam. I'm not sure if we're just going to see a little hustle out there. We've got 22 seconds on the between jam clock and 27 seconds on the period clock.
I'm wondering if somebody's going to call a timeout. I think they're going to have to if they want to play one more jam.
Yeah, we're going to end up with oh gosh, I can't do math when the numbers are moving down. Let's see, 11 and 4 is 7 seconds in between jam clock, but we are going to go ahead and have one more jam, and with 4 seconds on the period clock, it will likely be our last. Bam Bam getting lead jammer. She is jamming against Frigidaire.
Fridge taken to the outside is going to have to recycle. So does Mother Trucker. Nitrogen headed off to the penalty box, so Pueblo down a blocker. Bam Bam already back through, puts up points for West Texas. 4 points more for West Texas. That's going to bring us to the end of the period, though. Game over whistle is blown.
221-119, Pueblo taking 7th place here at Mayday Mayhem 2014. Hopefully they will be back next year so they can continue being the only other team aside from the Slaughterhouse Derby girls who have participated in all of our Mayday Mayhem tournaments. Folks, thanks so much for watching. You know, I'm going to back up real quickly here. Penalties were the absolute reason why West Texas was not able to spring off of the bench here in the second half and take it. Most of the points that we see put up here, the high numbers, were all on jammer penalties, power play opportunities for Pueblo here in the second half. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. There are a lot of things that a league can do, though, to start allowing their jammers to play clean. And sometimes I think a great understanding of the rule book, skaters, is a good first step.
I absolutely agree with you on that one, miscommunication.
I like to read your rule book. Clap, 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 go clap. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you have just watched the 7th place game here between Pueblo and West Texas. Coming up, we have the men's championship game.
Camel Joe is skating in it.
Camel Joe is skating in it. You want to stick around for Camel Joe, who also coaches Sioux City's women's team. And we will be back shortly with that in about 18 minutes. Again, my name is Ms. Communication.
And I'm Bangers and Spash. Thank you for joining us on ColoradoSports.TV. We'll see you here in a little bit.